Hi, this is Karen Berka, host of Branson Radio Live. If this COVID thing is getting to you, I think I just might have the right antidote for you. I have decided to post my Branson Radio Live shows on YouTube for all of our loyal listeners and visitors that come to Branson from all over the world. I'm hoping these YouTube posts will bring you some joy while seeing your favorite entertainers again, with lively interviews and some music they'll perform for you, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So please enjoy the shows, but don't forget to comment in the comments section. Tell me what you like and who you would like to see. This is my way of just sharing Branson Radio Live with you, some of the old shows, and bringing in some new when the time is right, once we heal from all this COVID. And so when things get back to normal, until then, I'll keep posting updates on Branson. So please enjoy the shows, and God bless you. Stay safe and healthy until we meet again.
Hey, good afternoon. It's another day in Branson, Missouri. From the Uptown Cafe, it's Branson Radio Live, a fun-filled hour and a half with our host, Karen Berka, engaging with live interviews with Branson's own stars right here at the Uptown Cafe. Also, our producer, James Wilson, Steve Boldy, our new audio guy. Say hi, Steve, and I won't bust you in the lip this time.
Good morning, everybody.
All righty. And right here, me, your co-host, all right here from the Uptown Cafe, and it's free to the public, so come on in and sit down and have lunch. You'll enjoy the food here. Hey, let me give you a lineup on our guests this week. We have Strictly by Accident, and they're here in the evening times, Wednesday through Saturday, right here at the Uptown Cafe. But they're going to be here this morning singing for you. You're going to enjoy these guys and girls. They're good. I'm telling you, they're great voices. The Hughes Brothers are going to be with us today, and they're an awesome group. They're a good bunch of guys. We have Bob Nelson. He's a comedian. He's going to be here with us today. So, hey, get ready. Get in the driver's seat and ride with us, or passenger seat. Yeah, that's it. All right. Karen, you ready to go, girl?
I'm ready.
All righty. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, live from the Uptown Cafe, here's your host, Miss Karen Berka. Take it away.
Well, thank you, everybody. Good afternoon here at the Uptown Cafe and across the globe. We're so happy that you could join us on Branson Radio Live. I'm your host, Karen Berka, and we've got a fun time planned for you today. We've got the Hughes Brothers and the whole family that's going to be here entertaining you. And also, we have Bob Monroe from the Clay Cooper Theater. John Tweed, I think, is going to be stopping by. You don't want to miss him. And we've just got a lot of things going here. And I want to bring David Good, the owner of the Uptown Cafe, to come and talk a little bit about the cafe and talk about some upcoming events here at the Uptown Cafe. How are you this afternoon, David?
Doing great. Good to see everybody out. We've got kind of a cloudy day here in the Ozarks, but it's a beautiful day. Got real nice temperature, somewhere around probably 80 degrees.
You know what I find out? Every day's a beautiful day here in Branson, Missouri.
You know, and I was going to mention to you, I grew up over in Coffeyville, Kansas, and you'd watch the area weather there, you know, of course, growing up. It's always a little cooler in the Ozarks. You know, I don't know whether it's the mountains down here or just what it is, but if you're burning up in southeast Kansas and northeast Oklahoma and everything, well, come down on the Ozarks, you'll get a little bit cooler. It's a good place to be.
I had a great time the other night. I got to tell you what I did. I went over to the RFD Theater, and the Cowsills were over there. And, you know, they made that song, Monday, Monday, a hit, and some others. Hair, you remember the song Hair?
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, they did all those hot tunes. I mean, I absolutely love going out to the RFD. They're performing out there, so if you haven't decided, audience, where you're going to go today, you don't want to miss RFD Theater right up the 76th Strip where the Cowsills are performing. And they do such a fantastic job. And guess what else, David?
I don't know what.
Well, they're going to be coming on next week. One day next week, they're performing with the Beach Boys this Friday. They got a lot of TV interviews, but they did say we'll try our best to get on Monday or Wednesday of next week, so our audience can look forward to seeing the Cowsills perform here at the Uptown stage. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I'd like to recognize Joe Sullivan over there too. You know, he's the one that spearheads everything at that theater, and he's a wonderful guy. He used to work with Andy Williams and schedule all his shows at his theater and all that. So he's going to be on here in the near future, and we've got so many guests that are coming on. Kathy Rigby, we have talked to her, and that's going to be an upcoming appearance as well. And she, you know, stars at Peter Pan here in Branson.
Yeah, she should be a great guest. A lot of things. She, was an Olympic star for It's where we first heard of Kathy Rigby. So,
you know what's interesting about Kathy Rigby is Kathy Rigby, she has been, I won't tell you how old she is, but she looks just like a young pup. I will say that. And she's flying all over the theater at Peter Pan. She looks like a 10-year-old boy on the stage. Imagine that. But you know, she told me her stage, the settings, the props for her stage presentation, upwards to $750,000 to make, but she found a good deal somewhere and got it for $350,000.
Well, you know, people may not realize here in Branson, you think, well, it's small town and, you know, theaters probably aren't that big a deal, but there are some really high-dollar things here in Branson. If you go up to Country Tonight, and their stage is just fantastic. It's an entire wall of LED lights, and you can, you know, the things they can show on there are just amazing. It's just
Isn't
a
it?
Tremendous thing. I don't know what they had to pay for that wall, but I know it was a lot of money.
And I want to say, too, you know, Branson, Missouri, here in Branson, Missouri, it started out as a country music town. And, boy, I'll tell you, when 60 Minutes and the nation got a hold of this little diamond in the rough, you know, they said, whoa, you know, Branson is quite the place. And they brought a lot of attention to us. And since then, we've had a lot of different talent come into this town. And we've got over 53 theaters and over 100 shows here in Branson.
Yeah, it's amazing that, you know, there was a time frame in Branson where there were a lot of really big name people in town, like Roy Clark and Mel Tillis and Willie Nelson, and, you know, you name it. They were here for a while, Ray Stevens, but there's always been a lot of local talent here that's terrific. Just terrific entertainment. You just can't beat it anywhere, and it is the live music capital of the world now. And
we've got some big name acts coming in here. I don't know if you all knew it, but we've got Dionne Warwick coming in, and just so many, you know, too many to mention, really.
Yeah, we had Restless Heart not too long ago. We had Little Texas was in town. T.G. Shepherd's in town right now. A tremendous show over at the Country Tonight Theater. Really, really great show. Mickey Gilley's usually here, and give a shout out to Mickey. I hope he's listening, and I hope he's feeling better. For those of people that may not know, Mickey took a fall a few weeks ago, injured his back, had to have some surgery, so he's off of the circuit for a little while. But
I understand Joey Riley's taken over the theater and doing very well over there.
Yeah, Joey is kind of, I guess you'd say, his partner or whatever, his sidekick. And Joey does a lot of comedy, but he's also a great singer and great entertainer. And he's picked the ball up, and he's doing Gilley's evening shows now. So there's still something going on at Gilley's Theater.
Oh, it's amazing what's going on here. And there's a lot of area attractions, too, as well. Not just the stars, you know, and the oh, gosh, I tell you, it's just amazing. The whole strip and beyond is, and you know, we've got an easy access roads. You know, a lot of people don't know that we've got a red route now, a yellow, a blue, you know, because it used to be kind of confusing. They get stuck on the 76th strip, but now that doesn't have to be, does it, David?
No, there's actually 3 roads now that parallel 76th strip, so you can, you know, get from one end of the strip to the other without actually going down the strip. So it really makes it a lot easier for people to get around. And, of course, those roads now have developed with hotels and theaters along those as well. So it just, you know, it's really continued to help the town grow and add more things. But you're right, there are a lot of attractions, and people a lot of times don't think about that. But we have water parks, we have... we don't mention Silver Dollar City near enough here, but we have Silver Dollar City here, just 6 miles outside of town. Great theme park. We've got a wax museum. We've got Ripley's Believe It or Not museum. We've got the fantastic Titanic museum just across the street from us.
Well, you know, one thing about Branson, you know, the people, Branson has heart. Do you know that? They really do. And there was a young boy that had cancer, and he was beating cancer. He was 6 years old, and he finally beat cancer, but Branson, Missouri got a wind of him being ill, and they invited him and his family to come and spend some time, a free vacation here in Branson, Missouri, and he got to splash around in some of the water, go to Silver Dollar City, you know, and some other area attractions. And the good news is he beat the cancer. So, you know, Branson is notorious for helping people. We have all kinds of fundraisers going on here. Yep. We just did Extreme Makeover. Julie was spearheading that and from Springfield, Missouri, and they built a brand new home for some folks over there close to Ozark, Missouri, and unfortunate people. And the whole town got together and helped raise money for that event. And so I was kind of excited about that Extreme Makeover coming here.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people out there have seen Extreme Makeover on TV. I think it runs every week. They build a lot of homes for people, but it's kind of nice to have one right in your area. There was one, not too long ago over around Dewey, Oklahoma, that they did over in our general area here. So they've helped a lot of people in this area, so it's a really, really good program.
It is. And so, now here you are, David. You're in Branson, Missouri. And for those folks that don't know how you wound up here buying a restaurant, and we'll talk about how you built this stage here, tell us how all these things evolved, because you were never in the music business, but you love music.
I don't know. It kind of goes back, when I was in high school, my brother was always in bands. He was a really good songwriter, we thought at least, and a good bass player and singer, and he would go around with the band, just garage band stuff, and they played in this area, the Coffeyville, Kansas area, and as far over as Nevada, Missouri. I remember going over there and different places, that they'd play, and a lot of our friends in Coffeyville, Coffeyville's kind of a unique place itself as far as music goes. We've had several people come out of that area that like Big Al Downing is right from around the Coffeyville area, and he had several brothers that were very good singers as well. Rodney Lay, who was provided the backup band for Roy Clark for years and years, Rodney Lay and the Wild West. If you see the old hee-haw shows that they rerun now, the skinny fella in the back playing the bass is Rodney Lay, and he was a very good friend of ours for years, and friends of my mom and dad. And so just, a lot of musical talent from around that area. Jim Halsey right up the road at Independence, Kansas, about 13 miles away, was a promoter of Roy Clark's and several of the big entertainment acts around. So
and the Acuffs are from that area too, Carl Acuff, cousin of Roy Acuff, from Acuff Publications, was
Gary S. Paxton, that's here in town, was born in Coffeyville, so big songwriter from this area. So anyway, we kind of had a musical background and a lot of friends that were in music. My brother was in music, and so that's always been something that I like to do, but I never could figure out how to make any money at it. So when I got out of high school, went to college, and ended up working for an oil company and worked for them for about 35 years and decided to retire, and had decided that we'd like the Branson area. There's a lot going on here, things to do and people to see, and it's not a typical small town. It's a small town, but not a typical one. And so we just kind of really liked the area, and had decided to buy land about 20 years ago and did that and ended up building a house. And then after we got all that done, it was kind of like, well, what do we do now? It's not a lot on TV in the middle of the day, so we started looking around for something to do and that we thought we'd enjoy, and we ran across this cafe, and so it all kind of came together. And then with kind of wanting to be involved in music, we decided, well, let's build a stage and let's clear out one side of the cafe so we can do some shows. And
this is a one-of-a-kind thing that you've got going here.
Well, it's a little bit unique. Even in Branson, you'd think, well, there are a lot of stages in Branson, but there's not a lot of stages that are open to people who are not known.
Exactly.
And so our little stage is one that we wanted to use to give people who aren't in a show somewhere a chance to perform. And it just, just one of those things, kind of the word gets out. And a few weeks ago, we started with American Kids, our little Branson chapter of the Missouri American Kids. They're here every Tuesday night from around 6 to 8 o'clock. And they put on their little show, and it's fun to watch their kids from, I don't know how the youngest one must be, about 6 maybe. Yeah. A little gal is 6 to about 18. And it gives them a chance to practice, their craft and learn the craft.
Hone their skills and put a show together, and this is the platform for them to do it here at the Uptown Cafe.
Yeah, and we just got word today that they're going to have auditions on August the 23rd. I think that's a Sunday. They're going to be auditioning for kids that want to get into American Kids, and I think another production as well here. So we're going to have a fun day, August the 23rd, probably about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and there are going to be some information on that. It's going to come out in the paper of how to get signed up to audition.
And you were talking about giving entertainers a chance, the unknowns a chance here in Branson, Missouri, and one of those unknowns is Strictly by Accident. And that group got together strictly by accident.
They really did. We the whole little group, we kind of started with a group we call the Uptown Sound. We were looking for a name and said, well, we all kind of met strictly by accident, really. We were singing around town, doing karaoke and one thing and another, and kind of got acquainted and got to talking about, well, gee, I sure wish we had a place where we could sing where it's not smoky and, just a beer joint somewhere. And I said, well, I've got a plan to build a stage, and that's what I want to do, have a place where we can perform. So we some of the best singers in town, and we just kind of came together. I mean, they come from Florida and Texas and Oregon, and they all kind of converged right here, and some local people as well. And we put together a little singing group, call it the Uptown Sound, and then out of that group, a little trio got formed, and they call themselves Strictly by Accident because they just harmonize almost perfectly, effortlessly, I would say. It's just
I say the Gatlins better look out. They're really good. They're really good. As a matter of fact, you say giving them a chance. Strictly by Accident had a phone call here not all that long ago asking them to perform in a theater. I believe it was in Kentucky.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Well, we kind of said from the start, the ultimate really nice thing that could happen out of this would somebody would get a really nice break and get a chance to do something and hit the big time with it. So, gee, I hope something works out.
Well, now here, this is, a stage for entertainers, but the Uptown Cafe has a lot of good food to offer, too, and your hours run a little bit longer than a lot of the restaurants here.
Yeah, they really do. We open at 7 in the morning and start with a breakfast buffet that runs 7 to 11. It's, I'll just say it is the best breakfast buffet in town. It really is, because we start with the very best ingredients we can get. For example, when you have bacon, it really does have bacon meat in it. It's not just fats. And so we run that 7 to 11 in the morning. Then we go right on into lunch and right on into dinner. And we don't close till 11 o'clock at night. Sometimes we're open a little later than that if people are still coming in. We have a full fountain, so we have a lot of people that like to come in after the shows. So usually around 9:30 to 11, people start coming in after the shows and having sundaes and malts and banana splits and that kind of stuff, and as well as full dinner. We're sometimes amazed how people come in and have a full dinner at 10:30 at night, but hey, they're on vacation, so have fun,
Your ultimate goal, too, is, to have entertainment, like, oh, golly, almost every hour on the hour, different types of talent on the stage.
Yeah, that's another thing. It just kind of grew. I mean, once we got the stage and people saw the stage, and then, people's wheels start turning and say, well, gee, do you have anybody doing music at noon? Do you have anybody singing at the dinner hour? So, well, we have a group that does, at that time, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights, 8:30 to 11, and that's our little Uptown Sound group. And but we really didn't have anything else going on. And then we ran into Gary Welch, and Gary said, well, would you mind if I tried doing some lunchtime stuff? And we ran into you, and we decided we'd do this radio show. So we had 3 days a week of radio show from noon to 1:30. Then Gary does Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from around 11 to 2:30. Then we had guests on the show. Gordon and Debbie Wenzel came on. They are performing down at the mall, and they are singing waiters as well. And they said, well, gee, would you mind if we did some dinner show stuff? I said, yeah, that'd be fine. So they're here Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from about 4:30 to 6:30.
Great duet singers, by the way.
Yeah, great act. So, now we've got a lot of things going on. The American Kids are here on Tuesday nights. So something going on most of the time here.
And one thing I'm excited about, we're going to hear from the Uptown Singers today, by the way, Strictly by Accident. And you've got a new group coming in tonight.
Yeah, we I guess got a little bit loaded with our Uptown Sound group doing 4 nights a week. So we said, well, we need to cut back a little bit. So you might tell us about your little group that you put together, because you're going to be doing Wednesday night starting tonight.
Well, we've got a group called 3 Times a Lady, and it's 3 female entertainers that have performed in Branson for many years, and collectively they've taken all their music from all the years and put it together and putting it into a show here at the Uptown Cafe, and that will be tonight. Tonight is our pioneer work right here. So
cool.
we're excited.
I had not heard your name. How'd you come up with 3 times a lady?
Well, that gal,
up?
Michelle Severin, was the one that came up with that. Do you like that name?
I do. That's pretty clever.
And we have really worked hard to put the show together, and we're going to have a great time tonight here, and to be a part of what you're doing at night. We're excited about that.
Okay, are you going to do Lionel Richie's 3 times a lady? Or?
Well, he might do it on a CD to introduce us.
Okay, well, that'd be good, I'm sure.
You know what we're going to do? We're going to do hits, from the 40s, 50s, 60s, and we're just going to take time to reminisce and put people back to sometimes, a better time in their lives, when they feel youthful and strong. And that music will do it. The song remembers when,
Sure. That's one thing that people like about the Uptown Cafe. We hear a lot of comments like, boy, this is like it was when we were in high school. And, back in the 40s and 50s, this type of cafe, it has a 50s, 60s theme cafe, but it's done in a style that's, what is the style they call it? I have a senior moments there now and then. But anyway, it's reminiscent of the older times, with the fountain and the booths.
Back when the phosphates. I think I even saw a phosphate on your menu.
Yeah, we still have that on the menu.
Oh, I love that. I used to, I lived back in a little town called Ottawa, Iowa back then, but I used to visit my cousin in Omaha, Nebraska, and we used to run down to Phil's Corner Drugstore, and I always got chocolate phosphates. And when I saw phosphate on your menu, I just about fainted, because you just don't hear that word anymore.
Well, you can get a chocolate phosphate here. We can do that. And, malts and shakes, you think, well, they're the same everywhere, but a lot of places have a malt and shake machine, so it comes out of the machine. Ours starts with ice cream and starts with real cream, and then we put the flavoring with it and spin it up the old-time way. So it's an old-time way of doing it, and it just tastes different.
I'm going to have to get one of those today. That sounds so good. We've got Michelle Severin here, part of 3 Times a Lady. She's going to perform for us so the audience can get a feel for some of the singing that will go on here at the Uptown Cafe tonight. And Carol Lynn and all the gang from Strictly by Accident is going to perform for us. We've got the Hughes Brothers coming on, and they're coming in about 12:30, so we can expect them. And Bob Monroe is coming in. So, folks, you don't want to miss what's coming up next. And up next, Michelle Severin's going to sing you a song on Branson Radio Live. We'll be right back. James, will you mention our sponsors? Stay tuned. Best Buy is Branson Radio Live's major sponsor. Best Buy, a global family of brands and industry leader with more than 40 years of history, but that's not really what Best Buy is about. Best Buy is about people just like you. And yeah, we know every company says they're about people, but Best Buy really means it. And we know from firsthand experience by the equipment that they provided so we can stream Branson Radio Live to you. Offering a world of electronic products, you can find everything you need for home, business, and more at Best Buy in Branson, Missouri. So be sure and check out Best Buy on our website, BransonRadioLive.com, and here in Branson at 977 Branson Hills Parkway, Branson, Missouri. You can call them too at 417-336-6979. Again, that's 417-336-6979. It's Best Buy for all your electronic needs. I'm here with Michelle Severin right now. Good afternoon, Michelle.
Good afternoon, Karen.
Now, you're part of the group 3 Times a Lady.
Yes, I am.
And we just originated that thought here last week, didn't we?
Yes, we did, and then it's been crazy since then.
It sure has. We've been trying to put together for the Uptown Cafe tonight, and we putting together a show is not as easy as what it might sound. But I want to talk to Michelle about her career a little bit, so let's have a sit down, Michelle. You were telling me, I said, you look awfully pretty today, and she said, yeah, I tried on 3 different outfits to look right for the show.
Well, no, I got the top part right.
Yeah.
Actually, what I did was I had to, ladies, can you relate to this? I put on 3 different pair of pants before I got on the ones that were, I figured were kind of okay. The first pair was too big. Second pair was too small. I admit it.
Doesn't she look nice? I think she did. She found the right outfit.
Just right.
I got to tell you, one time, being in the entertainment business, a lot of people don't know what I do, but I entertained on Branson stages for 13 years here.
Yes, you did.
And I had a lot of fun doing it. We met along the way, so we've known each other for a long time, since the late 80s. And, we've enjoyed, entertaining at area theaters here for a long time. And, one of the things you're talking about, getting an outfit to wear in the right one, I had something like that happen to me. We ladies ladies don't like to show any lines underneath our clothing. Isn't that right? So one time I tried on 3 different pairs of pants, thinking, well, I don't want to see the panty line there. So I found the right pair. Well, so my sister was taking me out for breakfast before I was going to appear on stage, right? So I thought, oh, how nice of you. So I drove from Branson, Missouri to Ozark, which is about 35 minutes, got up to one of the restaurants there, and we had a great breakfast. And so I wanted to walk off my breakfast while she went to Walmart, and Walmart was right in that complex, okay? So I go over, and I said, I'll walk, okay? You drive, I'll walk. So I started walking, and I looked down, I heard something dragging on the ground. I thought I had a piece of paper stuck to my foot. Well, I looked down, and one of my undergarments was in the leg of my pants, and I was walking with that underneath my foot.
Oh, my word.
And my sister was going, oh, what's the matter, honey? Are you sick? Does something make you sick when you? Because I was doubled over in half, laughing until I couldn't catch my breath. And she's driving around me in her Cadillac trying to figure out what's wrong with me. And finally I said, get out and look. So she did, and we had a great laugh. And that day we got lost. We were coming back to Branson, Missouri, right? Well, we went around to Mansfield. She says, I know the way back a shortcut. Everybody knows a shortcut around. Don't trust that. No. Don't trust the shortcut. No, go the right way the first one. Yeah, that's right.
It can be bad, yes.
No, and, but at any rate, we wound up going in Mansfield. We wound up in Mansfield instead of Branson, Missouri. I was late for my engagement.
And you were not doing a show in Mansfield,
No, I was not.
No.
But
that was not good.
That was one of the funniest things that ever happened to me. But, Michelle,
that whole thing sounds like, that's the kind of dream that you have.
Yes.
You dream that you're outside the house without proper clothing on, or that dream. Yeah. Okay, that thing that happened to you sounds like one of those bad dreams. You look down and see, oh no.
Oh, let me tell you, I had another experience where I was sitting, I had a business appointment, and almost the same thing happened to me. I'm crossing my legs trying to look so intelligent, and I'm, how we women cross our legs and swing our feet, right? Well, I'm swinging my feet one way, and I'm seeing something else swing the other way, and I go, what in the world is that? And this was a very important meeting. I had to be, somebody that looked sensible and acted sensible. Well, not that day. I'm telling you, I was swinging my feet and something going the opposite direction. I looked, and it was a pair of my pantyhose, one of the feet from my pants. We get so tired when we do a show, we just rip our clothes off.
A bunch of strange things happen to you with your clothing. I don't know about
And the nylon stayed in the pants, and I didn't know, and I put the pants on the next day, and there I was. I looked like a fool. But anyway, I just wanted to, I don't know why I wanted to share that, but, it's a crazy
This might be too much information.
It might be. But, Michelle, let's get back to you and talk about your career. I know you've had some funny stuff in the years you've entertained.
Oh, yes, I have. That's for sure. I've had many strange things happen to me, but some of them I can't even tell you. And they were, in fact, wardrobe malfunctions.
Yes.
Yes, that were extremely exciting. I once did a fashion show where we were wearing really cutting-edge clothes. This was back when Betsy Johnson and Peter Max and all of those kind of people, Michael Mott, it was their first season of stuff, and all of us were wearing these little things that for all the world were like little breechcloths. They were just, and we were painted different colors, and we had nothing on top. We had wigs with big braids, and they were glued down. That's what we had on top of ourselves. And I got to wear the premier thing in this fashion show, which was a wraparound leather dress that was very famous. Raquel Welch had worn it on the cover of a magazine. And I was thinking, oh my, I am so lucky to get the premier thing in this fashion show. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And part of the thing was I was supposed to take this off and then appear in the little short skirt thing that for all the world was like a breechcloth, right?
Yeah.
And my braids, and that's all I had on in this fashion show. But I was painted green, so I did not feel naked.
Right.
Right, okay. So in struggling to try to get the leather dress off, one of my braids became dislodged.
Uh-oh.
Yes, and so then I had to not move at all while trying to get off the stage.
And how do you do that?
That
right?
was a major wardrobe malfunction, the worst I've ever had.
My goodness. One time when I was appearing with Danny Davis and the Nashville Brass, I had, we have costume changes in between sets, And so I go back and I go all the way downstairs. My dressing room is downstairs, and I'm going to change, right? And I had 2 different changes. I had gold, everything gold with gold shoes, earrings, and so forth and so on. And the other was all silver, okay? So when they said, here she is, Karen Berka, I run up and I trip up the stairs. I bust my shins. I'm bleeding, all right? And he keeps saying, here she is, Karen Berka, and I can't catch my breath. And finally, I do get up there on stage, but I see that I've got silver shoes on with a gold dress.
Well, I just don't think that's a major malfunction.
Oh my gosh, you can wreck your performance that way, you know. But let's talk about your
Ruined
career.
your whole career, did it?
Yeah, oh man, I tell you, didn't, but I'll tell you, you know, I got to laugh, and you got to have a sense of humor in this business,
yes.
you know. And but at any rate, I want to talk about your career. We'll do a little tidbit, and then we'll have you sing a song, and we'll talk again, and then we're going to get the Hughes Brothers up. I'm excited about having them up, aren't you today?
Yes, I see that they're lurking.
Yeah, they just walked in, and Bob Monroe from the Clay Cooper Theater.
Yeah.
And so what we're going to do is just give a little rundown of your career.
Oh gosh, I started singing all the way back in the 60s in San Francisco. Actually, was my first job, and sang with several different bands there, mostly big blues bands at the time. You know, it was the big hook was that I was the little tiny girl with the big blues voice. So they made me sing in the lowest key I possibly could sing in, always. You know, and then from there I went to working with show bands that worked the Nevada circuit and dance and show bands and.
So how old were you when you actually struck out on your own to build your career?
I was 19.
19.
Yeah, 19 probably.
And where did you perform when you were 19?
San Francisco.
San Francisco. You were still in San Francisco.
I was. Yes, I was. Yep.
And so you branched out. You've done a lot of things. You know, you can sing any type of music. That's what amazes me, with perfection.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's very kind. I don't know if I even agree with that. But it's nice that you think it and say it.
I say when an entertainer can be entertained by another entertainer, then they've got to be some kind of good.
Thank you.
And you are. And as a matter of fact, I want you to sing a song now, and then we'll talk a little bit and recognize our sponsors. Then we'll get the Hughes Brothers up. Best Buy is Branson Radio Live's major sponsor. Best Buy, a global family of brands, an industry leader with more than 40 years of history, but that's not really what Best Buy is about. Best Buy is about people just like you. And yeah, we know every company says they're about people, but Best Buy really means it. And we know from firsthand experience by the equipment that they provided so we can stream Branson Radio Live to you. Offering a world of electronic products, you can find everything you need for home, business, and more at Best Buy in Branson, Missouri. So be sure and check out Best Buy on our website, BransonRadioLive.com, and here in Branson at 977 Branson Hills Parkway, Branson, Missouri. You can call them too at 417-336-6979. Again, that's 417-336-6979. It's Best Buy for all your electronic needs. Now, Michelle, you started entertaining at a very young age, and now here you are. We're going to talk about some of that stuff, but first of all, I want our audience to hear you sing.
Well, all right, I'm going to do one by my all-time favorite singer.
Michelle Severin, everybody, here on Branson Radio Live.
When I was really little, I wanted to grow up to be a Raylette, and it just never happened. But I love to sing Ray's music. Here is the Georgia State Song. Georgia, Georgia, the whole day through, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. I said, Georgia, oh, my sweet Georgia, a song of you comes as sweet and clear as moonlight through the pine. Other arms reach out for me, and other eyes smile tenderly, but to you. Georgia, no peace I find. That old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Those other arms reach out for me, and other eyes smile tenderly. But in all my peaceful dreams, all I see is the road that leads back to you. Georgia, Georgia, oh my Georgia, no peace I'm ever gonna find with that old sweet song, Georgia playing on my mind. That old sweet song, Georgia, on my mind.
Michelle Severin on Branson Radio Live, everybody. Give her a hand. Now, Michelle, you are going to be with the group tonight, and we'll get you up later on, but we've got a comedian that's got to be out of here by 1 o'clock.
Yes,
And
a great comedian too, boy.
Tell me what you know about him.
I know that he's incredible. Everything of his that I've ever seen him do has just made me laugh out loud, and he's very, very creative, which I'm sure your listeners and these people here in the Uptown Cafe are about to find out.
So let's welcome him to the stage.
There he is.
Bob Monroe. Thanks for coming. Give him a round of applause, everybody. He's entertaining over the Clay Cooper Theater, but I want to tell you a little bit about him. He's been on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. He's been on the David Letterman Show. He's been on the Merv Griffin Show. And he also started a movie, Kindergarten Cop. Anybody remember that? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into all that. How are you today?
Sit down.
It's good to see you.
I see the Hughes Brothers in the audience. They're my favorite.
It's so great to have you here on Branson Radio
Thank you.
Live.
By the way, it's Bob Nelson.
Bob Nelson.
Bob Monroe is in prison. He's doing time.
You need to spank me for that, I'll
That's
tell you.
right.
This is one of those days, I started off taking the wrong exit, coming down the wrong way, talking to the cow sales, and so then I wound up, almost late for the show. So it's been one of those. So
Maybe
I
that's
humbly
it.
apologize.
I think the cow skills are from Monroe, aren't they?
Is that right?
Monroe?
I don't know, but now you got in comedy here.
I could be Marilyn's brother.
You could.
Bob Monroe. Marilyn, get it?
You're going to rub it in, aren't you?
Hey! He's taking pictures.
He is.
Okay.
So let me ask you.
So you don't know who I am, right?
I do. Yes, I do. Because,
yeah, I did that.
you're actually a friend of Cindy Barr's.
Yes, I know Cindy from the Branson Divas.
Yes, and I know who you are. I just had a senior moment.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I did. And I apologize for that.
That's okay. I did a whole lot of stuff. I did HBO, The Tonight Show, Johnny Carson, David Letterman, Merv Griffin. I was in the movie Kindergarten Cop, like you mentioned.
Yes.
I performed for Reagan, President Reagan. I did Carnegie Hall, Radio City Music Hall, Broadway. I was on Broadway. I have a kid show. I did a kid show in Philadelphia, and I had an Emmy Award for that.
My goodness.
I did. Guess what? You know why I told you all that? Because I used to be famous. Now I'm in Branson. Hey, who starts in Branson stays in Branson. I'm going to end up in Branson.
How did you wind up in comedy?
It was a wrong phone call. I made the wrong... No, seriously, it was a wrong phone call. What happened was I was working for a paste-up... was that a sound effect? That sounded good. I was working for a paste-up art. I was a paste-up artist. We used to make telephone book ads for the South.
Okay.
And there would be problems with the ad. The ad would say, open 24 hours on the top, and on the bottom would say, hours of operation, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So we'd have to call them up. It was Southern Bell. We were up in New York, and we had to do these... these ads. So we would have to have quality control call him up and ask him, well, are you open 24 hours or is it 8 to 8? So I would call him up as a character. And I would fool around with him. I would say, hey, how you doing? This is New York calling. We got a problem with your ad. It says here you're open so-and-so. And then the guy would go, who is this? I'm with the Shreveport Tractor Company, and I just don't want. So I'd start messing with the guy. Well, what happened was they dialed the wrong number, and they called the comedy club. And the guy was on the phone. He didn't know who I was. I thought he was somebody else, and I was just messing with his head. And he said, you're really funny. Come down and do comedy. And I did.
And that's how it all got started?
It snowballed, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Isn't that an amazing story?
I was an actor before that. I was working a lot of summer stock, and I got started because I graduated with Alec Baldwin. You know who Alec Baldwin is?
Yes, I do. He and his brothers.
Yeah, we graduated together in high school, and he went to soap opera route, and I went to comedy club route. Who made the right decision? I think he did. I made a mistake. I was a clown. I worked for Ringling Brothers, too.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
You've just been all over the map.
I'm very visual. That's why I'm on the radio.
I can tell you love what you do, though.
Oh, I love it. I do characters like Red Skelton. You know Red Skelton?
Yes.
He's huge, that guy.
Yeah.
Bigger than Shoji. Anyway, I'm serious. See this? My shirt says Jiffy Jeff's Gym?
Yes.
I do a punch-drunk fighter. Do you want to? Okay, Karen, interview him, okay? Just say, hi,
Okay.
I'm Karen Berka, and I'm here talking to Jiffy Jeff, the professional fighter. Go ahead.
Okay, hi, I'm Karen Berka, and I'm here to talk to Jiffy Jeff, the professional fighter.
How you doing, Karen? I'm a professional fighter. My name is Jiffy Jeff Jaworski. I had 6 professional fights, of which I lost 11. Hey, very, very pretty lady. Hey, I'm sorry.
How do you see your opponent? Your eyes are crossed.
Well, you know what happens? It's kind of a good thing because I'm scared. Because I am kind of cross-eyed, so when I'm fighting, there's 2 of them in front of me. Yeah. I fought, hey, you know Mike Tyson?
I do.
I fought Mike Tyson.
You did?
He's the guy who bit the ear off of Voltage Holyfield's. Remember him?
Yeah, I do remember
He bit his
that.
ear off.
I do remember
I asked him, I said, hey, Mikey, what were you thinking when you bit his ear off? You know what he told me? Tastes like chicken. That's what he told me. And I started to laugh because if anybody tastes like chicken, it's Mike Tyson. You know why? His name is Tyson.
Yeah.
I said, hey.
Who all have you fought in your career?
I fought Mike Tyson, by the way, when I fought him, he was so scared he was crying. Can you believe that? He was terrified.
Why?
He thought he killed me. And he was, what a baby.
How did you come to that conclusion?
Well, I saw the video. I was out for a while. Didn't look like I was breathing. But, hey, my nose got busted once in the 3rd round. And I didn't start bleeding until the 7th round.
Oh, how did you last?
Well, what happened was I have tired blood, and it didn't start flowing until the 7th round. It eventually stopped bleeding, though, because I ran out.
So how long do you plan to keep on fighting?
I'm going to fight for as long as I can. You need alto training, as you know. You know that, right?
Alto training.
Alto?
Alto?
Is it alto? No, I'm sorry. A lot.
A lot.
The letters got all jumping in my
Are
head.
you dyslexic?
I'm dyslexic. Yeah, I had that once.
Did you?
Yeah. The doctor told me that I had... What? What was the question? Hey, you know what? I had... you need a good nickname in boxing, too.
You do?
You need a good... My name is Jiffy Jeff. Jiffy, because I like this certain type of popcorn. No, that's a joke. Hey, ever hear Boom Boom? Boom Boom Mancini. That's a good name. Boom Boom Mancini.
That is a good name.
You know why they call him Boom Boom?
No, why?
Because Henry was already taken. Henry Mancini. No, that's a joke. That was a joke. They call him Boom Boom Mancini because that's what it sounds like when he hits you. It sounds just like that. Boom. Boom. Mancini.
Have you ever met any other characters in your journey, Jiffy Jeff?
Yeah. Me? Other characters?
Who have you met in your career?
I met, I met Don King. And he's got the funny hair.
Yeah.
Looks like he stuck his finger in the electric socket. Ever see that guy?
Yeah.
I also met Joe Garagiola. I don't know who he was.
You said that right, I think.
Yeah, I don't know who he is, though. He said he played ball. Anyway, hey, what was I going to say? I'm totally confused right now. Wait a second. Let me think.
Jiffy, have you ever met Bob?
Oh, Bob Nelson. Yeah, he's right here. You want to say hello?
Yeah, I'd like to say hello.
Hi, Karen. How you doing? Okay, that's enough. Get back over there. Sit down. He's talking to me now.
Jimmy Jeff.
Give me my hand for that. Isn't he funny? I'm telling you.
I started to get too into it.
So now your career, I mean, you've been, golly, I mean, people all over the world know who you are.
Oh, I was Rodney Dangerfield's opening act for many years.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Okay, whatever it is, you know. Okay, what a crowd, what a crowd. I used to work with Bob Nelson, but I got rid of him. Who wants to work with somebody as funny than they are?
That's what Rodney said that about me once. He said that. Oh. He would call me all the time on the phone.
Yeah.
He would say,
Hey, man, how you doing? It's Rodney.
I go, hi, Rodney, what's going on? He goes,
what's new?
I go, nothing.
Okay, I'll call you back when something's new.
And you hang up.
And that was it.
Yeah.
Is he as funny in real life as he is on stage?
Oh, he was funnier off stage than on.
Is that right?
And he would mess with you because, you know, comedians roast each other all the time.
Sure.
So he would call me up and he'd play with my head. One time he called me up and he goes,
Hey, Nelson, how you doing?
I go, hi, Rodney, what's up?
Are you watching VH1?
I go, no.
They have the top 100 comedians of all time on television. I'm number 24.
I go, that's great news.
You want to hear the bad news?
What's the bad news?
You're not in there.
I knew that was coming.
And you've been opening me for all these years. You stink. I thought you were funny, you know?
And then I said, come on, Rodney. He goes,
Okay, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm calling VH1 because that's not right. I'm going to call them up. You should be on the list.
I go, really?
I'm calling them up. I'm going to tell them Bob Nelson should be 101.
I go, 101, I still missed the list.
He goes, oh, you're not grateful? Now you're 103. How about that? Now you're behind Carrot Top and Harry Basil.
I said, who the heck is Harry Basil?
I don't know, but he's funnier than you.
Rodney.
How did you happen to get hooked up with him in the first place?
I was working a small club in Florida, and I did my set, and then he walked up to me and goes, hey, how would you like to be in an HBO special? I go, I would.
Okay, you're in. It's me, you, and Sam Kinison. We've got to find some more guys. Follow me.
Just that easy.
Yeah, just like that.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that was great. I didn't have to audition.
That, you know, and that's a tough gig to try and get into that.
Yeah, forget it.
field.
I did 2 HBO specials with Rodney. It was so much fun. I did the one with the 9th annual Young Comedian special with Sam Kinison and all those guys, and I did a football player.
Okay.
Number 72. Oh, no, 27.
He looks down at him.
I play football, and if I did not play football, I would not be playing football today.
That's what football players say. Stupid stuff like that.
Yeah. So now you have to, you know, to put your comedy act together. Now that, I mean, do you even make yourself laugh?
I do when I make mistakes. What makes me laugh is when my wife, because my wife runs the sound, and my son, he runs the lights. So when I make a mistake and I hear them laugh, I start laughing, and then it's over.
So how do you go about putting your comedy act together?
Well, my act is different. It's very visual. It's I do a lot of characters throughout the act. I run behind this wall and I come out as somebody else and I interact with myself. I do a little bit of stand up. My stuff is different. It's routines. I do Jiffy Jeff Jaworski. I have character like Epi Epperman. My name's Epi Epperman, and I'm from Cleveland. I do him,
yeah.
And I do a gorilla. I come out. My prop guy is a gorilla, and he comes out and brings my stuff out. Okay. So it's really different. It's like a roller coaster ride.
So you pencil this out on paper and say, I think I'd like to do this.
I never
this,
put anything on paper. It's all in my head.
In your head
yes.
as you go.
All top secret.
So how many props do you have for your act?
They're not actually props. They're visual aids. I really don't need them.
No, but I have hats and glasses. I do quick changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one of your favorite characters?
Probably Jiffy Jeff. Oh, Wilby. I do Wilby Stuckinson too. He's a chicken farmer, but I don't have my teeth. For Branson, you got to have a character with teeth, so I stick the teeth in.
Yeah.
And it's Wilby.
Yeah.
And he goes, how y'all doing? My son had an accident the other day. He looked at the sun with a magnifying glass. He done burned a hole clear through his head. I know he did, because I seen them bushes catch on fire behind him.
Yeah. That's him. He's a chicken farmer.
Which come first, the chicken or the egg? I think the chicken come first, because I haven't seen no egg lay no chicken. Chicken do all the work. My son think the egg come first. He said, Daddy, when I have breakfast, I have eggs, and for lunch, I have chicken. Breakfast come before lunch, so the egg come before the chicken.
Makes sense to me.
Now, he got a hole in his head.
He can't hardly ride a bicycle now without a loud whistle coming through that skull of his. But God is good, because now when he rides down the road, he don't hit no deer no more.
Why is that?
The deer hear him coming. He tends to wander a little bit now, but he's a good boy.
Oh, my goodness, my goodness.
He's a good boy. He's such a good boy, I'm thinking about putting holes in all my kids' heads.
You're going to make people choke on their food if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. So now how did you wind up here after being everywhere that
It was a
you've
big
been?
mistake. No,
No, I wanted to ask you, sorry. I wanted to ask you one thing. How did you get on Kindergarten Cop? And who were you? Played the boyfriend, didn't you?
yes, I played Henry Shoup, the boyfriend of Arnold had a female partner. And she had a fiance, and I played Henry Shoup. That was a perk. I had a big deal with Disney, and Ivan Reitman was going to do. They were going to do a sequel to that movie and everything, and it was all going uphill, all good stuff. And then it all folded like a house of cards. But
as it sometimes
yeah,
will.
it was just a perk. They put me in the movie last minute. It was
And how did that come about?
Well, I was Let's see, the Disney company. They hired me to do a sitcom. So I wrote this whole big sitcom, and they gave it to somebody else. Davis Rules. You ever see that one?
Robbery.
Yeah, it was. Well, that's how Hollywood works. So I came to Branson, and I found out it's worse. No, I'm only kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke.
No, you didn't
As a matter of
say
fact, I like
that.
to sing this song about all the folks here in Branson. They smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. Backstabbers. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. No, I'm only kidding. No, I love Branson. I came here, and I'm so excited. You know what the difference is in Branson?
What's that?
When you work with comedians on the road, they're so competitive, and they'll bury you if they can. I started with Eddie Murphy and
There's
Rosie
not much
O'Donnell.
humor in that, is there?
No, they would kill you. They'll kill you to get on stage over you. But when I came here, all the acts are wonderful. You know, like the Hughes Brothers are here. They're good friends, and I just can't believe how they embrace each other and they help each other.
Yes.
Unlike the ticket sellers. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke.
He's going to get me in trouble. Yeah.
I'm gonna be out of here in a minute. You know that.
You can leave, but
The Branson police are gonna come up.
Mayor Presley would like to talk to you.
Yes, but back to Kindergarten Cop. You're not escaping me on this one.
Okay.
How did you get on there?
It was a perk. I had a deal with Disney, and Ivan Reitman, who was the director. I had a deal with Ivan Reitman and Dan Goldberg, who was also the producer. So what they did was they said, "Hey Bob, since we're doing a TV show together, how would you like to be in the Kindergarten Cop movie?" And I said, "Oh, that sounds great." So I went out there and I said, "Let me see the script." He goes, "We don't have one." I said, "What do you mean?" "Well, we're putting you in the movie. Let's write one right now."
Oh my God.
And I said, "How about this? You're naked." And I go, No. I called my wife like 10 times.
You were in a
They
towel
want me
or
to be
something?
naked. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a bad move. There's a guy with a perfect body and then me. Right? I'm wearing this lady's robe and everything. It was all
How did that change your career?
Actually, it kind of helped.
You know Hollywood, don't you?
Yeah. So now you started in comedy. You were how young when you started in comedy?
I
You
was
knew that you
right out of
wanted-
high school. I was a clown before I was a comedian. I was working clown shows, and I almost joined the circus full time. You know, I had done a whole lot of clown routines, and they wanted to hire me. But once I got sidetracked into the comedy thing, it took off. I was doing theater and stuff like that, and it just kind of rolled.
Evolved
So
as it
right
went.
out of high school, I was going to school I was going to college, and I did 2 years of college for theater, and I was doing all the summer stock, and then I started making a lot of money doing comedy. So
what's your educational background? Did you have any training or anything in this?
I actually, my son is very smart. He graduated high school early.
He did.
He's a valedictorian, and he had the highest scores ever recorded.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's a homeschool.
Homeschooling is good.
Yeah, I taught from 1st to 4th grade, and then I stopped because that's as far as I got. 4th grade. No, I have an associate's degree in theater.
Well, yeah, is that right?
Oh yes, I do. I know how to set lights up and everything.
Really?
Yes, I do.
My goodness. So you got to be a little bit of everything, a jack of all trades with what you do, don't you?
Absolutely. What I do is I travel around the country and I see people in the airport, and then I put them on stage, and they have no idea.
So that's some of what your act encompasses is people that you meet and it hits the funny side of you, and then you write
they
about
become
it.
a character. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Can you name a couple?
Grandpa. I do a grandpa character. It's my grandpa and another guy that I met. Epi Epperman is a cross between a tow truck driver I met in Columbus, Ohio, and a club owner in New York. Ping Ye, I do this Chinese guy. That's my movement teacher from college, and also I kind of mixed him up with a karate instructor I had.
Oh my goodness,
so that's what I do.
I bet that's
because
a sight.
people by themselves, they're not so funny. But if you take two people and you put them together,
like us, for instance.
yes, see. Yeah, so what you do is you meld them together like Transformers.
What are some of the funniest things that's ever happened to you on stage? Have you ever gotten your lines and ad-libbing a lot?
Oh, yeah. I mess up all the time, and, things happen where the mic will go off or the curtain will fall down or something. But, I have some really nice horror stories. I was performing with Dick Clark.
Yeah.
He had a big thing. It was a big birthday party for the guy from Wendy's. By the way, Wendy's hamburgers aren't as good as the uptown cafes. Just want to say that.
He's got the real stuff here.
Really good. I'm hoping they'll give me one for free. But anyway.
Keep talking, you just might get one.
Who's that guy? Dave, what was his name? Dave from Wendy's? The owner? It was his birthday party.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? And what happened was, they said, I kept asking, when do I go on? When do I go on? He said, you're following Paul Anka.
Oh, great.
I said, what? So he's up there, and he's got this big choir, and he's singing, and...
Having my baby, I suppose.
No, he was singing on the screen with Willie Nelson and Frank Sinatra, and then he sings My Way.
Oh,
because I think he wrote that.
Okay.
So he's singing My Way, and then a chorus, and the whole chorus behind him starts singing it, and then... He ends with a big crescendo. Everybody stands up and they give him a standing ovation. And then Dick Clark goes out there and goes, okay, now, ladies and gentlemen. And the lights come up.
Yeah.
And he goes, here's comedian Bob Nelson. The choir was still walking down the things, and they were starting to break down all the benches and everything. And I'm up there, I'm going, what am I, time filler? I was time filler between the two acts.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so I was trying to do my act. And these guys are pulling up wires and wrapping up stuff, and I had this big plunger.
Made you feel real important.
Yeah, I had this plunger, and this bald guy walked by, and I slammed it on his head, and I was trying to drag him off the stage.
Just for somebody for an audience.
Yeah, it was the worst show I ever had in my life. Because everybody was standing up smoking cigars like it was a break. And I'm trying to do my act. The only one laughing was Dick Clark on the side.
How long did your performance have to be?
I did 45 minutes.
My goodness.
Yeah. And Dick Clark said, that's the funniest 45 minutes I ever saw in my life. And I said, really? Nobody even paid attention? He goes, I did.
And he was the most important one, wasn't he?
Yeah. And Boomer Esiason, who was, running the whole thing, it was a big... charity event. He comes over and he goes, I really wanted to come up there and help you because I saw you having trouble. I said, well, what stopped you? He goes, nothing. I said, you were scared. That's what I told him, but he never came and helped me.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's the end of the story.
So, okay, well, so now you... I noticed you looked at me with that blank look, like, say something to me.
Yeah, because I'm like a New Yorker. I don't have a lot of patience.
So now you've done all these monumental things in your career, and you found time to have children, get married,
I have one boy, he's 21, and I have a beautiful wife, she's 21. And, no, we're married for 22 years.
21, 22 is the magic number here, I think.
She's only 22. She's only 21. We're married 22 years. You figure that one out.
How does she handle your career? 'Cause you're all over the place. How does she, how's she done with that?
She barely. No, she really is a great help to me. As a matter of fact, people ask her all the time to say, it must be a lot of fun to live with Bob with all those characters and his crazy antics. And you know what she says? You would tend to think so. That's what she says. She's so sweet.
How did you meet her?
She was in a comedy. She would come into the comedy club every once in a while, and I couldn't take my eyes off her. She's beautiful. And then what happened was my fiance ran off with the doorman in the comedy club, and she found out, so we became friends.
Is that right? So it was meant to be.
And she was dating a fighter, a boxer. That's where this character Jiffy Jeff comes from. Okay. I would mock him whenever I could. He would be sitting there, and I'd be doing him going, how you doing? Well, it's Jiffy Jeff. His name was Jeff.
Yeah.
So I would make fun of him, and she would sit there like totally nervous, sweating. But he didn't know. He would come up and go, when you do that guy, it reminds me of somebody. That's what he would say. True story. He was so funny. He would call my wife up and ask her on dates and stuff. Mm-hmm. And one time, he sent her like 125 roses. Her whole house was full of roses. And then I said, where'd you get all these roses? She goes, Jeff. I go, you should date this guy. She goes, no, I can't date him. He's crazy. I go, really? She goes, yeah, listen to the answer machine. And this is what you heard on the answer machine. It went, boop. Hey, how you doing, Patricia? It's Jeff. I sent you 125 roses. Did you see him? I would love to come and see him. I can't smell them because my nose is busted, but I would love to come and see him. Anyway, I wasn't going to say this over the phone, but I think I'm falling for you. I think I'm in love with you. And I also want to tell you that you know what? I forgot who I'm talking to. Who did I call? You know what? Give me a call back. Whoever I called, let me know what I was talking about. Better yet, why don't you do this? Wait for the beep and leave a message. That's what he did. True story. He was so messed up.
So now you probably, no doubt, have some idols in the comedic field.
Yes.
Who would they be?
I love to watch this really funny guys.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, guys that made me laugh were like Tim Conway and Dom DeLuise. I knew Dom DeLuise. He was a good friend.
Can I hear a little bit of Dom?
Oh, I don't do him.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't do him.
Oh.
But he was a good friend. He brought me on stage once. Red Skelton's a big influence of mine. He was like a mentor. Rodney Dangerfield was a good friend. The guys who made me laugh: Jerry Lewis, Danny Kaye, Tim Conway, Jonathan Winters.
Oh, yes.
All the really stupid guys.
Oh, yes.
If you like stupid, come and see my show. If you don't like stupid, I would stay away.
Well, where can they find you here in Branson,
I'm at the
Missouri?
Uptown Cafe. It's right on Gretna Road.
You're on the 76th Strip, are you not?
Yes, I'm with the Clay Cooper Theater.
Clay Cooper.
Which is in the gully. Over by
I used to
Walmart.
entertain there, too, with the Aaron Patrick Elvis impersonator show, so I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Over down in the holler, we got a small theater. A little bit of mold problem, but everything's all right.
It's a beautiful theater. It's a lot of fun. Clay Cooper's a great show.
How did you wind up here in Branson, of all places?
My manager, Todd Oliver, called me, and I was working with him somewhere, and Todd Oliver said, "You got to come to Branson." So I came to Branson, and I'm going to kill him the next time I see him. No, I'm only kidding. No, Todd Oliver was talking to me, and my manager used to manage someone here. I forgot his name, but he doesn't have a show anymore. But anyway,
he's number 104.
Yes, that's why I came here. I'm in semi-retirement. If you read my resume, you could see it sounds more like an obituary. So
Did I miss anything?
No, there might be stuff.
I
in the
think
back.
I got everything
Yeah,
on.
you got it
It's
all.
on the back too. You wrote on the back.
Oh, I did the Grand Ole Opry.
Oh, well, yeah, that's important.
Yeah. A lot of stars here can't say that. I
No,
did
that's
it.
right. How'd you wind up there?
Well, they needed somebody to park cars, so I volunteered. No, I work with Michael W. Smith and Max Lucado a little bit.
Okay.
Michael W. Smith did the Grand Ole Opry, and he got me in there.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Joe Diffie got sick, so they put me in.
Is that how that happened?
Yeah.
Now, you know, along the way you get breaks so unexpectedly, and you meet all these people. What was it like for you to meet all these, renowned entertainers, these comedians?
It's very depressing. No, of course, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
When you meet all these people, you find out that they're regular people, and they have foibles and problems and situations. Some people are just downright crazy.
That's true.
Like Rosie O'Donnell, I was in an improv group with her. See, I used to mention her name and it gets applause. Now it's total silence.
Yeah.
I got to take her off my resume. Yeah, she's crazy. I work with Rosie in my improv group. She was great. I was in a comedy team with Eddie Murphy.
Oh, my,
the black
yeah.
guy. He does comedy.
Yeah.
You think so?
Acts and movies and all that. Yeah.
I think he's all right. But yeah, we were in a comedy team called the Identical Triplets. Seriously, there were three of us. There were two white guys and a black guy. And Eddie was the black guy. Occasionally, sometimes I would be, depending on our team. We did an impression. I don't know if they could get this over the radio, but we did an impression of a total eclipse. One of the white guys would stand real still, and Eddie would walk in front of her very slowly. And I would look through a piece of paper with a hole in it and go, "Ow, my eye, I burned my eye." It was brilliant.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know.
That's why you don't hear Eddie talking
if I'm
about
going to
it.
recover from this show, I'm not sure. So what do you see on the horizon for you? What have you accomplished everything you want to? You're happy here in Branson? Are you going to stay?
I love Branson. It's really tough, though. It's very difficult to break in. You got all these wonderful, great shows, and I'm one of them. But I'm moving as all the shows close down.
You're humble,
move up
too.
Yeah. As the shows close down, I move up the ring. Well, this guy's saying is they die, or if they close the show, or both.
You'll have to put that one in your act.
Yeah. But I love it here. I'm hoping to buy the helicopter tours someday and do my act on the helicopter.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Just like me and one person. I'll do comedy while I'm
just
flying
never
helicopter.
use the words "you're going down." Never say that.
Yeah, right.
So now
all you got to do is say this. Uh-oh.
It's like when you're on the plane, you say that you'll see three white dots. That's the pilot, the co-pilot, and the stewardess.
I want to be a helicopter pilot and keep saying, uh-oh. What? What do you mean, uh-oh? Oh, no, it's nothing. It's nothing. Wait, did you hear that? Nothing. Okay.
Oh, my goodness, I'm crying. You're supposed to be making me laugh, and I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard I'm crying. So you've met a lot of great entertainers here, and Branson has really supported you, haven't they?
Oh, yeah. The acts really support you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they can't help you, but they support you. No, it's true, they can't. Everybody's just a tough economy, and, they do their best. Although the Hughes Brothers brought 6 in. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they brought them in, they helped them. See, they know how to do it.
Yeah.
The Hughes Brothers know how to help people.
Yeah.
They bring in...
Have you seen their show?
No, but I'm trying to get my show in there. I haven't seen it yet,
there you
but
go, guys.
I want to. No, I want to come and see him. I have to come and see him. As soon as I get back from Rochester, I travel. I go back to New York every weekend.
Every weekend?
Pretty much. Yeah, because I don't make any money here, so I have to fly back home. I borrow it from my mom.
So so you still stay in touch with
Well,
all
she doesn't know I'm borrowing it, but her purse is left out there on the table.
We should just left it there. Why not, right?
Well, she loves me. I come to visit her. I fly all the way from Branson all the time. She doesn't know how I'm doing it. I don't know how
You just told her.
Oh. Did she get this station in New York?
Sure. It's everywhere.
Uh-oh.
So now you go to New York and you entertain there. And do you still do front acts for people from...
Oh, opening?
Yeah.
No, I don't open for anybody anymore.
You don't do
I
that?
had Kansas just open for me.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, that's quite a deal.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I open for... You know who I open for still? Michael W. Smith. And... that's about it. I've really been doing my own thing. So
your own thing.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, sir. Because I know that it hasn't been easy along the way. But can you help but be funny? I mean, you're just a funny guy. Are you serious ever?
Yes, but no one sees it except my wife.
Okay.
She's the lucky one.
Yes.
I walk around the house going, the bills, the bills, the bills. And she laughs at me. And I'm being serious.
Well, we're so glad that you're here in Branson, Missouri, and you're over at the Clay Cooper Theater. Yep. And when can people come see you?
2 o'clock every single solitary day except for Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I'm only there Mondays and Wednesdays.
And since I mucked up your introduction, do you want to just say who you are? So you can do it better than me.
I'm Bob Monroe of the Monroe Singers. No, Bob Nelson, comedian for 32 years, seasoned professional.
Yes, you are. And
if you come see my show, be prepared. Like I said, it's like a roller coaster. And you know how when you ride a roller coaster, you got to go with it. You can't fight the roller coaster. You want to have fun, so go with the show. Because if you don't go with the show, you're going to toss your cookies.
So any other parting words that you'd like to leave with our audience?
Yes, I would. Laughter's like medicine. Laughter does good like a medicine.
Yes, it does.
But I'm not a doctor. I'm an anesthesiologist. I can't help you with your problems. I can only make you forget them for a little while. So come and see my show.
Bob Nelson, everybody.
Hey, thank you. God bless you guys.
Radio Live. Up next, the Hughes Brothers, our sponsors.
Stick around. Don't leave. The Hughes Brothers are great.
I want to get a picture with you.
Oh, okay.
I think... can we get a picture, David?
See, the good thing about being on the radio, you could dress up like Little Bo Peep and no one will even see it.
As I mentioned earlier on the BRL program, the Hughes Brothers will be appearing. So you'll have to catch them tomorrow on August 24th on our Saturday show of a continuing of Part 1 and 2. And you'll get to hear the delightful interview with them at 7 p.m. Well, here's hoping you enjoyed the Branson Radio Live programming today. We'll be posting our shows every Friday and Saturday at 7 p.m. And because we're not able to go to church like we used to, we're going to throw in some gospel on Sunday every once in a while. So be looking forward to those, and you can reminisce about your favorite entertainers. And bear in mind, some of the entertainers are here but not performing because of the COVID situation, but we'll keep you informed as to who's appearing here and when. Just reach out to me on my email at berkabroadcasting@gmail.com for any questions that you might have, and we'll respond accordingly. And until then, remember that we love you. We want you to come into Branson when it's safe for you to do so, and so we'll keep you posted on the upcoming events here in Branson. So enjoy your day, be safe, and remember, these shows are from 2009 on up, so they're not current day. They're just to reminisce with and just enjoy and just comfort you and give you a feel good. So thanks for listening. I do hope you enjoy the shows.